You're listening to Soundside. I'm Bill Radke. Summer is here. I say so. If it's been 80 degrees, then it's summer. And we just had Folk Life with lots of bands performing outside. We got more music festivals coming. So let's roll our windows down and hear some Summer Music 2025. And with us, we have studio audio engineer and City of Seattle Music Commissioner, Bunnie, on the board. Welcome, Bunnie.
Hi, how's it going?
It's great. Seattle Times music writer Michael Reitmulder. Hiya, Michael.
Hi, how you doing, Bill? Thanks for having me.
And lead singer and guitarist of Seattle band King Youngblood, Cameron Lavi Jones, also your co-creator of the Black and Loud Music Festival. Thanks for coming with us.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Let's play some music first. What is the first song that has you excited right now, Bunnie?
Ooh, that would have to be Soft Girl Summer by Sailorr. It's such a smooth pop R&B hit. It gets you in the right mood for summer, and really it's for the girls.
It's a soft girl summer. Yeah, the boys get dumber. Got my mind in the gutter, baby. It's a soft girl. It's a soft girl summer. Yeah, the boys get dumber. Got my mind in the gutter, baby.
Soft Girl Summer, the boys get dumber, got my mind in the gutter. Those are the lyrics sound summery, but there's also a little sadness in there too.
Yeah, it feels like, this summer is really for the feelers and the lover girls. Last summer and the summer before that, it was like, the world is burning to the ground, but we're going to dance through it. But now we're kind of in an era like the world is burning to the ground, and we're really feeling it, and we're going to talk about it.
Soft girls stay moisturized with their teardrops, she says. Okay,
Yeah.
great first pick. Cameron, will you start us off with a track you're excited about, a summer music jam?
Yeah, definitely. My first track is Get Up by the OBGMS. They are an incredible band from Toronto, Canada. They are Black and Loud Fest alums, very dear friends of mine. But I crank that song in the car, roll down all the windows, and soak up every element of Seattle sun I can get.
Yeah, tell me about OBGMs.
Well, the OBGMs and I ended up meeting, funny enough, over Instagram back around 2020, 2021. And it was just this long distance love between two black fronted bands, really trying to cut our teeth properly in the rock scenes. And we ended up getting together finally for Black and Loud Fest, the very first time we brought it to the Crocodile. And since then, we've done Black and Loud Fest Portland with them since we had a chance to start taking this national. Quite honestly, it was just one of those things where it felt like not just meeting people that are in the same headspace as you as far as being so hungry and going after it as another black fronted band, but more than that, they're just awesome dudes, man. I love them.
All right, that's Get Up by the OBGMs. Michael, we come to you for a song of the summer to start us with.
Well, I got to start it in Seattle. Admittedly, I picked more artists than songs, but I want to start with the Seattle band Deep Sea Diver, who really broke out a few years ago and just put out their first album on Sub Pop this year, titled Billboard Heart. Really loose, unbuttoned record with a bunch of intricate riffs and really strong, undeniable melodies. Great place to start would be a song like What Do I Know or Emergency.
Yeah, that's a big Seattle band, Deep Sea Diver. Let's talk about bands for a moment because summer's a time when a lot of bands and artists are touring. We just had Folk Life, Capitol Hill Block Party, Bumbershoot coming up. Concerts are coming back to the Pier. to the Seattle waterfront, Pier 62. Who we haven't talked about, who are you excited to see around here this summer? Bunnie?
Yeah. I definitely have to start with the Seattle band, the Pacific, who crazy summer band. I love any of their shows. Always a good time. And I'm also really excited for a huge tour coming through. I'm a huge country music fan. So my favorite, Miranda Lambert, is coming through with Morgan Wallen, and they're going to play 2 days. And that's the show I'm looking forward to the most.
Okay. What about you, Cameron?
Yeah, truthfully, I have to I have to keep it in the stratosphere a little bit. I'm really stoked about the lineup for Black and Loud Fest this year. It's September 13th at the Crocodile, and I can't share everybody that's going to be on it. But one of the folks that I'm really, really excited about is Cyril Neville of the Neville Brothers will be on the lineup this year. We did Black and Loud New Orleans this year for the very first time. The heart, the soul, and honestly, originality of one of the four legendary Neville brothers coming to Seattle feels like making such a very distinct, different flavor that the city is really, really, really been looking for and could really benefit from. I was going to actually throw in another song by him too. He's got this tune, I Sold My Heart to the Junkman, by him and Orgone, that feels like the most classic original soul music I've heard in a long time. And although it is an older track, Cyril's still putting out music. I think he's got a new single coming out soon called Lemonade. And spending time with him at Black and Loud New Orleans really told me, man, I not only have so much to learn from another legend like that as another Black musician, but more than that, like, oh my goodness, this music is so undeniable.
So I sold my heart to the Junkman, and I'll never fall in love again. Well, I sold my heart to the Junkman, and I'll never ever fall in love again.
Love it. I saw the Neville Brothers several years ago in Seattle. And so Cyril is going to be at the Crocodile in September?
Yes, for Black and Loud Fest Seattle this year, September 13th at the Crocodile.
All right. Michael, is there a band that someone listening to us might, or an artist we might be able to see in the Seattle area this summer you want us to know about?
Well, you mentioned the concerts coming back to the waterfront this year. The first show of that series I'm really excited about with Hermanos Gutierrez this Sunday. For those of you who don't know, as the name suggests, this is a group of two brothers who grew up in Switzerland. They make very soul-soothing instrumental guitar music that combines Latin influences from their mother's side of the family with this kind of Southwest, spaghetti Western, kind of desert noir feel. That should be really great for the setting on Pier 62 this weekend.
I'd like to know from you all, how is Summer Music 2025 different for you than Summer Music 2024? Bunnie got into this a little bit with, things are on fire. We're going to dance through it. Things are on fire. It's really hitting me, basically. Any other thoughts on what makes this summer? It could be politics. It could be, well, anything going on in the world. Trends. What's Summer 2025 like in your take? Bunnie, any more to say?
Yeah, well, I feel like there's a major wave of creativity. People are trying new things. There's a lot of new artists coming out too. And it's almost like people are feeling the world crumbling around them. So they're like, well, I might as well. Say all the things that I wanted to say. I may as well automatically put out the things that I wanted to put out. Definitely a wave of creativity coming through summer 2025.
Anybody else got thoughts on that? Amped up creativity?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm thinking about the summer of 2025 as the summer of activation. I think a lot of the music that I'm listening to right now, and also a lot of the music I'm trying to make and work on with King Youngblood, is trying to shake people from being passive to everything that's going on. I think like all of us are very distinctly aware about how the world feels like it's on fire right now. But I think in all the music that I'm listening to and all the music I'm trying to make, there is an element of trying to get people to re-engage with their spark, to rethink about what they can do to be a part of things and to be hands-on with the changes that they want to make. And then simultaneously, on the other side of the coin, the rest of the music that I'm listening to is songs that give me a reprieve, remind me to take a breath in order to keep doing the hard work that is in following through on those activations.
Is there a King Youngblood song along those lines that you want us to listen to now?
Yeah, actually, absolutely. We are putting out our first new music in 3 years since our debut album, Big Thank, with this tune called Garden of Conviction. It's featuring another North End rocker by the name of Justin Hardin. We just did a really, really awesome single release show over at Baba Yaga in Pioneer Square. And yeah, technically, I would really love for you guys to be the very first people to hear it on air.
We're talking about what Summer Music 2025 is like, and we've just heard about creativity and activation. And Michael, Seattle Times music writer, Michael Reitmulder, what's your take on that? How is this summer music any different from, let's say, last year?
I don't know if it feels radically different this summer to me than last summer. I think the world continues to be on fire, and while there's kind of a growing tide where people are increasingly hungry for community, and music is certainly a great pathway for that. It makes me think of events locally like the Timber Festival out in Carnation that has done a really good job of building community around their event every year, and a new Afrobeats festival, relatively new, called Blast Fest, that's happening this summer at Seattle Center, that has done a really good job of kind of building community around their summer event. I also think, Bunnie kind of reminded me when she mentioned the Morgan Wallen concert coming up, that, last year we kind of saw this big sort of resurgence in country music's popularity. And as I'm kind of glancing at my work calendar, at least, we're seeing that continue this year, certainly with, big shows like Post Malone, who just put out a country album recently, doing T-Mobile Park with Jelly Roll, the Morgan Wallen concert. We have a Washington artist who's really breaking out and kind of finding his stardom in the country world. Zach Top, who grew up in Sunnyside, Washington, and is playing a big slot at the Watershed Festival this year. So on one side, we have kind of this hunger for community and weighing into more topical themes. There's also kind of like a thirst for this like lighter, breezier music and sort of a little bit of an escapism bent too. So I think it's kind of a two-sided coin.
And Bunnie, you were talking about some cross pollination in country music with Shaboozey. You wanted to bring in a Shaboozey song that you're into.
Yeah. Horses and SRTs. Really this summer is also about Black country artists too, specifically. And just going back into the history too of how country originated, and it coming back around full circle to Black artists and Black country, and really these stories of our pain and resilience and things like that. So I think Shaboozey does a great job of blending genres and is a great entry into country music for people who, country music is one of those genres where people are like, I listen to everything but country. So he's a great entryway, for people who might listen to hip hop or other genres, to be like, oh, okay, so country can sound like this. And then you kind of get more into it. Oh, I want to hear a story like this. And next thing you know, you're listening, to some twangy greats.
This is Horses and Hellcats.
When the sun go down, we gon' push these horses to the limit. In the lane of my own, can't get in, cause in with all of the switch. I'm in damn post. Everyone looking at somebody put on different. Standing 10 toes.
All right, we got time for one more song each. Let's hear a little more music on the way out. Bunnie, another Summer Music 2025 pick.
Yes, Envi Jordan, major new artist coming out of Seattle, dance, pop hits, dreamy house collaboration type of music. We talked about the world burning down, but this is really feel good in the moment music, and we can't miss that this summer.
Gotta get my dance, gotta get my night, getting my romance, gotta get my life, gotta get my jam, getting out my mind, but I'm in a trance, gonna be alright, gonna get your man, gonna be all mine, got him in my hand, gonna get my life tonight.
Envi Jordan from Georgia said, I came to Seattle because of the strong creative community and it's walkable. Michael Reitmulder, you got a last Summer Music 2025 song for us?
Yeah, well, more album than a song if we
Okay.
can. But Seattle dream pop band Sea Lemon is actually putting out their debut album this year. This was a project that was kind of born out of pandemic solitude, and the band has become kind of one of the brighter newcomers in kind of the indie rock world in Seattle over the last few years. Their debut album out this week is called Diving for a Prize. A lot of really shoegazy guitars and these kind of gauzy vocals with some kind of summer breezy indie pop melodies that I think fit the season.
So first we had Deep Sea Diver. Now you're recommending Sea Lemon. Do you have to have sea in your name and be a Seattle band to make this show?
Unplanned, but we're going nautical this week.
All right, going nautical. Cameron, will you play us out? What's a song you want to leave us with and why?
You know, truthfully, I think a song I want to leave us with is Neighborhood by Liv Victorino. She is another local artist. Funny enough, her and I actually went to college together, and her house was the first place King Youngblood ever played a house show. But she opened up our single release party for Garden of Conviction, and her song Neighborhood, I cannot stop singing it and thinking about our beautiful, beautiful city of Seattle and the things that I want to be activated to change about it. But it's a powerful song. It's incredibly well written. I think it really holds on to the soul of Seattle in a really beautiful way that encourages me to feel passionate about it. I love that song. And if you catch me screaming it at the top of my lungs, walking from the light rail, just know it's Cameron Lavi Jones.
There's a store about to close. You're a landlord in my head. When I dig out of this hole, you bury me again, or you align yourself with me. I'm caught inside your way when I'm in this neighborhood. It's your voice inside my head.
That's Liv Victorino and the song Neighborhood, bringing you the soul of Seattle. Great place to end this conversation. Summer Music in the Seattle region 2025, and we've been talking with Cameron Lavi Jones, co-creator of the Black and Loud Music Festival, also fronts the band King Youngblood, and we've got Michael Reitmulder, Seattle Times music writer, and studio audio engineer and City of Seattle Music Commissioner Bunnie on the board. Everybody, thanks for the conversation and especially the music.
Great to be here. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thanks for listening to Soundside. And hey, this show is only possible because listeners support us. If you are able to give right now, check out the show notes for a link to donate. And don't forget, you can listen live on KUOW 94.9 FM Seattle at noon and 8 p.m., Monday through Thursday, or anytime online at KUOW.org.